Court is now in session.
All rise for civil case number 1337. Honorable Judge Taylor presiding for Tom Robinson v. The People. Mr. Robinson, please swear in on this Bible.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do.
So,
Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Robinson was 25 years of age. He was married with 3 children. He had gotten in trouble with the law before. It was for disorderly conduct. Must have been disorderly. What did it consist of?
Yes, sir. I got in a fight with another man, and he tried to cut me.
Did he succeed?
Yes, sir, but it didn't hurt much.
Well, yes. So you were both convicted?
Yes, sir. Although I couldn't afford to pay my fine, he paid his.
Mr. Robinson, were you acquainted with Miss Mayella Violet Ewell?
Yes, sir. I passed her place every day when I went to work in the fields.
Whose fields?
Mr. Linkdale, sir.
Were you picking cotton in November?
No, sir. My shift lasts from fall until winter time.
So, Mr. Robinson, you say you had to pass by the Ewell place to get to and from work. Was there any other way you could go?
No, sir. None that I know of.
Did Miss Ewell ever speak to you?
Yes, sir. Every day when I walked by, I'd tip my hat to her. And one day, she asked me to come inside and bust a shift robe for her.
When did she ask you to bust up the shift robe?
It was last spring, sir. I had been walking by with my hoe, and she had a hatchet. She asked me about it, and then I said yes. I went inside and helped her bust it up with her hatchet. Then she said, "I suppose I don't need to pay you." To which I replied, "No, ma'am."
Did you ever go to Miss Ewell's place again?
Yes, sir.
When?
Lots of times.
Under what circumstances?
Please, sir.
Why did you go inside her fence lots of times?
Well, whenever I passed by yonder, she'd have some task for me to do. Be it chopping wood, toting water. She watered those red roses every day.
Were you ever paid, Mr. Robinson?
No, sir. Even when she offered a dime, I rejected her. It didn't seem Mr. Ewell was helping her much, nor the other children. So I decided it was my duty.
Where were the other children?
They was all over the place, sir. They were here. They watched us all the time, me and Miss Mayella.
Did Miss Mayella ever talk to you?
Yes, sir. Lots of times.
Did you ever go on the Ewell property without express permission from one of them?
No, sir. I would never do that, sir.
What happened on the evening of November 21st last year?
So I walk in and I says, "Where's the chillin'?" She says, they all gone to town to get some ice cream. Took me some time, but I finally saved up the money to afford them ice cream.
What did you say then?
Well, then, sir, she told me she had a task, and I went in, and I saw that there was no firewood around. Then she says, "I got a task for you inside." As I went in, I noticed the hinge on the door was busted. So I said, "Miss Mayella, you got a screwdriver?" She said yes, and beckoned me to come inside.
Tom, I understand you. Please continue.
Yes, sir. So, as I was leaving, I says, "There's nothing more for me to do here." And she says, "Well, I disagree." She beckons me over to a shift robe and tells me to stand on a stool and get this box off of it for her.
Not the same chifforobe you busted up earlier?
No, sir. This one was different. It was tall as the ceiling. So anyways, as I'm on the stool getting the box off the shift robe for her, she grabs me around the legs. Well, sir, I was so startled, I fell over, tipping the chair. Only piece of furniture in that room that was disturbed, sir. I swear to God.
Mr. Robinson, what happened after you turned the chair over?
Tom, you were sworn to tell the whole truth. Will you tell it? What happened after that? Answer the question.
Well, sir, she jumped on me.
She jumped on you aggressively?
No, sir. Well, she hugged me.
Then what did she do?
Well, sir, she reached up and kissed me. She says she don't care what her father says. A Negro's still a man. Anyways, she says Kiss me back, Negro. I reply by running towards the door. She blocks the way. I says, please get out of the way. But just as I say that, I heard Mr. Yule yelling.
What was he saying?
Some pretty awful stuff, sir. Stuff not fit for children to hear.
What did Mr. Yule say? You must tell the jury.
Well, sir, he says, I'll kill you, you goddamn whore.
Then what happened?
I don't know, sir. I was running so fast.
Mr. Robinson, did you rape my yellow Yule?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you harm her in any way?
Not at all, sir.
Mr. Robinson, did you resist Ms. Yule's advances in any way?
Well, sir, I tried my very best. I didn't want to get ugly and things. Unfortunately, when I pushed her out of the way, had to resort to it.
That'll do, Tom. Who was Mr. Yule speaking to?
He was tossing and talking to his daughter, Miss Mayella.
Then did you run?
Yes, sir.
Why were you running?
I was scared, sir.
Why were you scared?
If you was a Negro like me, Mr. Finch, you would run too.
I just want you to know, I've had that boy working for me for 8 years and I ain't had a speck of trouble with him. Not a speck.
Shut your mouth, sir. Link Diaz, if you have anything you want to say, you can say it under oath at the proper time. But until then, you get out of this room. You hear me? Get out of this room, right, sir? You hear me? I'll be damned if I have to listen to this again. It ain't like one of the jurymen got up and started talking. I think it'd be different then, Mr. Lee. Then was just disturbing. The peace or something. Go ahead, Mr. Gilman.
Mr. Robinson, you're pretty good at busting up shifferoos and chopping firewood with one hand, aren't you?
I suppose, sir.
Strong enough to choke a woman, throw her to the ground,
No, sir, I never did.
but you're strong enough to.
Yes, sir, I suppose.
You've had your eye on her for quite some time, haven't you, boy?
No, sir, never once.
So then you were all acting polite and kind, doing those things for her, boy.
I suppose you could say so, sir.
Why were you so anxious to help Ms. Yule with their chores?
Well, didn't seem like those children around her didn't seem to help her much.
Not much help with 7 children running around.
They never helped her none.
And you did all this out of the kindness of your heart, boy.
Yes, sir, she needed help.
And you did all of it for free. Not 1 cent.
Not a dime.
You must be a mighty kind young fella, doing all this for not a penny.
Well, sir, she needed the help. She seemed to try way harder than all the others, sir.
So you felt sorry for her. And on this last November 21st, in the evening, you went up to her house to bust a shiffer robe.
No, sir.
So you deny you went by the house.
No, sir. I went by and she asked me to come in and do
See,
something.
she says she asked you to bust up a shiffer robe, is that right?
No, sir.
So you say she's lying, boy?
No, sir. I say she's mistaken in the head, Mr. Gilmore.